There is a moment, it lasts about 3 seconds, that determines how almost every person in that room will treat you for the rest of the night. Before you've said a word, before anyone knows your name, before you've had the chance to be funny, interesting, or impressive. In those 3 seconds, people have already made a decision about you, and most people have no idea it's happening. That moment is the entrance, and almost everyone wastes it. You've seen it happen. Someone walks into a room, and within seconds, the energy shifts. Heads don't turn dramatically. It's subtler than that. People just become slightly more aware, slightly more awake, and the person who just walked in hasn't said a word yet. That's not luck. That's not charisma you're born with. It's a skill, and it starts in the 3 seconds before anyone speaks. Most people don't get this wrong because they're not impressive enough, not because they lack the right clothes, the right energy, or the right look. They get it wrong because they walk in wrong. Not wrong in a way that's obvious, wrong in a way that's felt, a posture that signals apology, eyes that scan the room for approval before they've given any, a body that's already shrinking before anyone has had the chance to make it small. The room reads all of it, and it reads it in under 3 seconds. This video is about what to do instead. Think about the last time you walked into a room full of people you didn't know. What did your body do? Did you slow down or speed up? Did your eyes settle or scan? Did you feel like you were entering the room or like you were hoping not to be noticed? Most people, if they're honest, do the second, and the room feels it before they've even reached the middle. Here's what most people miss. The way you enter a room isn't just a physical act, it's a broadcast. Your nervous system, your posture, your gaze, the speed at which you move, all of it is transmitting information about how you expect to be received. And people don't consciously analyze that information, they feel it. They respond to it the way they respond to weather, not by analyzing it, by adjusting to it. Research on first impressions shows that people form judgments about trustworthiness, dominance, and likability within about 100 milliseconds of seeing a face. 100 milliseconds. Before the conscious mind has time to form a thought, the social assessment is already underway. You are not being judged when you walk into a room, you are being read. And the real question is this: does what you're broadcasting match who you actually are? Or is it being distorted by anxiety, self-consciousness, and the pressure of caring too much about what happens next? Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people walk into rooms in a state of low-grade social emergency. Their body is braced. Their eyes move too quickly. They're trying to assess the room, find familiar faces, figure out where to stand, and manage the impression they're making, all at the same time. Often before they've taken 3 steps. That split attention produces exactly the signal they were afraid of sending. I'm not sure I belong here, but here's what nobody tells you. The room doesn't care whether you belong. The room responds to whether you think you do. Walk in like you belong, and the room adjusts to you. Walk in like you're asking permission, and the room makes you earn it. The entrance doesn't reveal your status, it sets it. Shift 1. Decide before you arrive. The most powerful thing you can do before entering any room is make a decision about who you are when you walk in. Not a performance, not a character, a decision. I am someone who is glad to be here. I'm someone who is interested in this room. I'm someone who doesn't need this moment to go perfectly to be okay. That decision changes your physiology before you take a single step. Your posture opens, your pace slows, your eyes soften, not because you're performing those things, because the internal state produces them automatically. The body follows the mind, and the room reads the body. What people often call confidence isn't a personality trait. It's the visible result of someone who decided who they were before they entered the room. Shift 2. Slow down. Anxiety speeds everything up. Your walk becomes faster, your speech becomes faster, your eyes move faster, and that acceleration sends one clear signal. I'm not comfortable here. The solution is simple: deliberate deceleration. Walk slightly slower than feels natural. Take 1 breath before you enter. Let your eyes settle on the room for a full second before you begin moving through it. This does 2 things. First, it signals to everyone watching that you're not in a hurry to be somewhere else. Second, it signals to your own nervous system that there is no emergency. Speed often signals anxiety. Stillness signals power, not the aggressive kind, the quiet kind that doesn't need to prove anything. Shift 3. Give before you take. Most people walk into a room looking for something: a familiar face, a signal that they're welcome, a sign that this was worth coming to. But that searching, that scanning, is visible. People feel when they are being evaluated as a resource rather than met as a person. The shift is simple. Give before you take. Before you look for what the room can offer you, offer something first. Eye contact with someone standing alone, a genuine smile that isn't asking for anything back. A small nod that says, I see you. I'm glad you're here. These are not techniques. They are the physical expression of a mindset. I'm here for this room, not for what this room can do for me. And something interesting happens when you do that. The moment you stop looking for approval and start offering presence, the approval often arrives. Because the absence of need is one of the most magnetic things a human being can walk into a room with. Shift 4. Claim your space. Where you stand matters. How you stand matters. The physical space you allow yourself to occupy sends a signal before anything else. And many people, in unfamiliar social situations, make themselves smaller than they need to be. They stand near walls. They cross their arms. They pull their shoulders forward. They hold their drink in front of their chest like a shield. All of it communicates the same message. I'm not sure I'm allowed to be here. Picture two people arriving at the same event. One drifts immediately to the edge of the room, arms folded, back near the wall. The other pauses just inside the door, looks around calmly, and walks toward the center. Same room, same invitation. Completely different signal. Claiming your space doesn't mean dominating the room. It simply means allowing yourself to stand where you belong. That is not arrogance. That's the baseline. Shift 5. Point your attention outward. Most people enter a room with their attention pointed inward. They monitor themselves, their performance, their anxiety, the impression they are making. That inward focus creates almost every entrance problem. Because when your attention is on yourself, your body broadcasts self-consciousness, and self-consciousness makes a room feel like it's watching you. The shift is simple. Before you enter, point your attention outward. Get curious. Who is here? What is happening? What kind of energy is in the room? Not as an evaluation, as genuine interest, because curiosity and anxiety compete with each other, and curiosity usually wins. When someone's attention is genuinely on the world around them, the world tends to turn toward them. Here's what all 5 shifts have in common. None of them ask you to be louder, bigger, or more impressive than you are. They simply remove the interference, the bracing, the scanning, the self-monitoring. You don't walk into a room and create a first impression. You reveal one. The real question is whether what gets revealed is the distorted version or the real one. Decide before you enter. Slow down, give before you take. Claim your space, look outward. Do those 5 things, and the room doesn't change. What the room receives does. Here's a challenge for this week. Pick one room you would normally walk into on autopilot. A meeting, a social event, a coffee shop. Don't try all 5 shifts. Choose one. Apply it deliberately before you step through the door. Then notice what changes, not in the room, in you, because that's where every entrance actually begins. If this resonated with you, leave a comment and tell me which shift you're going to try first. And if you know someone who hates walking into rooms full of people, send this to them. It might be exactly what they needed today. Subscribe if you want more content like this. I'll see you in the next video.